Here I am in France, ready for the 100th edition of the race. Always a spectacle, almost never predictable. This next 3 weeks will no doubt keep us entertained and reduce our productivity both at work and at home. Sadly, last year's winner Bradley Wiggins of Sky Pro Cycling will not be here to defend his crown, but all is not lost for us Brits, because runner-up from last year and teammate Chris Froome goes into this race as the bookmakers' favourite to stand on top of the podium on the 21st of July. His most recent victory came in June at the Criterium de Dauphiné, where he finished a full 4 minutes and 27 seconds ahead of key rival Alberto Contador of Saxo Tinkoff. But for Froome and all the other general classification contenders, this first week is all about staying out of trouble, avoiding crashes and not losing any time on your key rivals. The key stage from week one of this year's race is stage one, which takes place on the island of Corsica. This 213-kilometre stage has a highest point of 147 metres, and this is where the only categorised climb of the day comes. Whoever crosses that line first will be on the podium at the end of the day, wearing the polka dot jersey as best climber. And likewise, whoever crosses the finish line first will not only be a stage winner, but also be wearing the yellow jersey on that podium. The Germans Marcel Kittel and Andre Greipel will be vying for the stage victory, but the favourite has to be Mark Cavendish of Amiga Pharma Quickstep. Cavendish has won the points jersey now in all three of the Grand Tours. He's also won the leader's jersey in both the Vuelta a España and the Giro d'Italia, but he's never won the yellow jersey or maillot jaune as leader of the Tour de France. Cavendish now has over 100 career victories, and 23 of those have come in the Tour de France. That's 67% of the record 34 stage victories which the great Eddy Merckx took through his career. In 2013, Mark Cavendish is riding for the Belgian outfit Omega Pharma Quickstep, having spent just 1 year at Sky Pro Cycling. It took them a while to perfect his lead out, but that was rectified at the Giro d'Italia, where his Palmares bulged even further, coming away with 5 stage victories and the red points jersey. It's also where he was christened with his new nickname, Cannonball Cav, by the podium announcer. At 1m75 and 70 kilograms, Cavendish puts out a maximum power in the region of 1500 watts in the sprint finishes, or 21 watts per kilogram. There seem to be a lot of sprint finishes on the cards at this year's race, so if he wants to win a second green points jersey, Cavendish will need to be consistent over stages 1, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13 and that final stage into the Champs-Élysées in Paris. There's also an intermediate sprint on each of the road stages, and Cavendish will need to expend some energy here because there are a lot of points on offer. Although it won't be in the forefront of his mind, if he does come away with the green jersey, he'll also come away with €25,000. Chris Froome will start this year's Tour de France as one of the main favourites for the overall title, and from that point of view, it's incredible to think that before this year's Tour of Oman, he had never won a top-level stage race. His progress this year has been incredibly consistent. He won in Oman and went on to take victories at the Criterium International, the Tour of Romandy and the Criterium de Dauphiné. His only deviation away from the top spot of the podium was at Tirreno Adriatico in March, where he finished second behind a certain Vincenzo Nibali. At 28 years of age, Froome is now entering the prime of his career. At 1m86 and 68 kilograms, he's fairly similar in stature to Bradley Wiggins, and although Froome's time trialling isn't quite up to that level, his climbing does appear to be slightly better. On the run-up to this year's Tour de France, Froome covered 4,412 kilometres of racing over 30 days. Last year, he covered 9,737 kilometres of racing, taking a silver medal at the London Olympics in the individual time trial, second place at the Tour de France and fourth place at the Vuelta.